What's up, Peep Squad? Peep Squad is in the building, baby. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated. Let's get down to the situation. Let's talk about Simon Stern. It seems like Simon Stern is really trying to help out Tariq and make sure that he is safe over there at Stanford, because he put Tariq there in Stanford and basically put his name on the line for Tariq. And even though Simon Stern used Tariq's father, Ghost, but then Ghost turned around and used him, but in any event, he went out on a limb to put Tariq at Stanford, and then also that's his school, and then on top of that there's 2 murders that went on at Stanford, and he knows Tariq is behind the situation, but he does not know that Tariq is selling drugs at Stanford, and also that his lover is a part of making the app that Tariq is involved in with delivering product all over the university. So in any event, if Tariq goes down, he can possibly go down too as well. So now he has Councilman Tate come over there to the Canonical Studies department and basically try to keep the police out there, get some good press, because they just recently had a professor, depart from this earth, which was Professor Jabari. Like, so Jabari's gone. You had a gang member or, get laid out in the pool. He knows Tariq is behind all this, and also he knows Tariq needs to pass and focus on his studies. And then at the same time, he knows that Tariq's sister now is in, foster care. She's in a group home, and so therefore, who can help him out? Councilman Tate, because he got influence, and then also he got influence when it comes to family court. So he sent Tate over there to make sure Tariq is all right and get everything okay, and also make sure that Carrie Milgram is taken care of too as well, so the department does not crumble, So in any event, he's willing to do whatever it takes. At the same time, he will use Tariq, even though he used Tariq's father, and he's using Tariq, but Tariq is using him back too as well, and he also helped Tariq. And so we get to Professor Carrie Milgram's and her situation. She don't know that she's about to get into bed with wolves, especially, she has Mr. Davis, aka Method Man, basically knowing that she's being accused of a murder, or she is, the suspect that they are out there to get through to her ex-boyfriend, the policeman that almost reminds you of Saxe, is after her, and he used to be in a relationship with her. And then you have that situation going on, and then Saxe is involved as well. So now she's in bed with sharks, and she got Tariq too as well, that she doesn't know Tariq is a shark, but she does know Davis is a shark. And basically, being in bed with a college student, one of the students that are there at the campus, is not a good look too as well. And now the board and everybody else is going to find out. So that's not a good situation. And then also, she could depart from this earth too as well if Tariq or Kane thinks that she needs to go. But in any event, they want the murder to be planted on her so she can do the crime and do the time. So we'll see what happens with that situation. And also Councilman Tate, he is over there at Stanford to make sure he gets out one of the congressmen, when it comes to Ricky. He wants Ricky out. He wants his seat. So therefore, he's over there to get pressed, but he's also to dig dirt up on, the councilman, because he wants his seat. And basically, he wants him out of his community. So therefore, he's going to have to get in bed with Tariq. And he knows what Simon Stern wants, as to save and protect Stanford and protect him, and at the same time he can get what he wants. And also Simon Stern knows that Tariq is best friend with one of the Westons, so it is what it is. So it seems like he's gonna get what he's want, and he's very happy to do it. But at the same time, he know who Tariq is, so he know how to deal with the situation very delicately. So we're gonna see how that situation pans out. And then we get to Zeke, the basketball player. Now he's dropping out of college and he's going to the NBA. There's no way that he can actually go to the NBA, because if he does, then Monet is out of business. Then Monet is gone. Then she's not hustling anymore, and the hustle has to continue to go. So there's probably going to be a reason why he doesn't make it to the NFL right away, because Monet is still want to be out here. She needs to still be out here because she is Tariq's supplier, helping Tariq make money and to help Tariq doing his thing. So therefore, she being out the game basically minus her children too as well, so they don't have a storyline. And so therefore, so it seems like Zeke is not going to go to college, and he might be accused of a murder, or he might be penalized or punished because he was sleeping with one of the college's professors. And plus, he does not want to be Monet's get out of the street card, where she's basically controlling his life. And plus, he does not want to go to the NBA yet because he's not ready. We got Tariq. Tariq is basically, he can't focus on what's going on. He can't see what Kanan's doing. He can't see that Kanan took the drugs from him. He can't see that he made some mistakes because he's too busy worried about his grandmother, his mother, and also his sister. He ended up throwing his cell phone away, so he's going to possibly lose contact with Tasha. But he does have Saxe, and he also has Davis as his attorneys working for him to find his mother, to make sure he gets in contact with his sister, and also making sure his grandmother doesn't do any time in jail. So he has to continue to pay. And you have Saxe and you have Davis using Tariq for money. And at the same time, they might burn him at the end because Saxe always wanted to arrest Tariq. He's been very gung-ho about that situation. And then you have, you know, Method Man, aka Mr. Davis. Basically, he needs some leverage to get his brother out of jail. So Tariq is kind of up the creek. And then also, when it comes down to Kanan's new partner and business, Dante wants to keep an eye on Tariq. Dante wants to get in Tariq's business. Dante wants to know what's up with Tariq. He wants to control Tariq. And we all know whoever tries to control Tariq ends up 6 feet under. So in any event, we get down to Monet. Monet wants to get out the game because she can't trust her kids. She can't trust her son. And then she's not protected. You know, people are robbing her. People are selling her fake drugs, which that didn't happen. Her son basically sold her. Her son took her drugs and switched it out for sugar. Okay, and then Monet not checking the drugs when she got them to make sure that they was okay. So therefore, she can trace the mistake back to Tariq and his best friend Brayden. But since she didn't do that because she's not on her game, so Tariq is not on his game, and Monet's definitely not on her game. And then also, she's worried about her daughter. She wants the best for her daughter, but at the same time, she don't know what to do with her daughter, whether she should go to school, what type of relationship. She wants to control her so much, but she ain't gonna be able to control her any longer. And she see her daughter being independent, and she's most likely being more independent because she has been exposed to Tariq. Tariq comes around and he destroys, okay? And Monet is tired of these games and these people disrespecting her when it comes to her children, Tariq, all the lies and everything, and no one's in check. She's getting robbed, things are happening to her, and her husband is in jail and he can't do nothing for her, and she's tired of him. She's tired of the relationship. She's tired of everything, you know. She's just kind of, you know, really just done with the situation. So that is why she's panicking, and she really wants to get out of the situation as far as selling anymore, you know, because it's just not worth it. It's just too much. It's too risky. She don't have the partner. She don't have the protection. She don't have anything anymore. She's out here naked, and baby, she's about to find a partner. Lord have mercy. That's all she want. And then we got Method Man. Method Man's brother Theodore, you know, he's in jail for life for manslaughter. And so in any event, you know, Method Man said he's promising to get his brother out, and he's going to use Saxe to help him. But now at the same time, it seems like Method Man would throw Saxe under the bus. He would throw Tariq under the bus and Professor Milgram under the bus too as well to get his brother out. So if he finds enough information where he can leverage with the government to bring down a big case, he's going to do that for his brother to get out of jail. So therefore, right now, Davis is nobody's friend. He never was nobody's friend, but now he has a reason to burn every bridge possible with the people he is working with. So be careful, because he's on a roll, baby. And then we get to Cain. Cain is actually very different this season. He's thinking much smarter, but he's not that smart. He's not that bright. But he's bright enough to end up stealing his mother's product, stealing it from, Tariq and his friend Brayden, and then basically, having them to come to him to get a new connect. So therefore, he's back into the family and have control again, and basically running things. And his mother really can't tell him what to do, because the last episode of the last episode, episode 1 was basically about choices, having your own choices, having, choices, making decisions and things not being determined for you. So it seems like each and every character is making choices, but Monet is still making choices for other, and these other are her family. They don't want her making choices for them anymore. So her son has been very vindictive by stealing her drugs, baby. Killing a man that she was in love with and she was, having an affair with, and, running around. And she doesn't want him with Tariq, but she doesn't know that her son is in business with Tariq. So in any event, she has a lot of sheep that are not listening to her anymore. Her flock is running amok, and she needs some help at this time of port. She can't, because it's just one thing after the next. Is just too much. She can't keep up with the lies. And then we have Dante that enter the film. He entered the show, and once he enters, he's with Cain, and Cain is working for him, and Cain is telling him all the business about Monet, what his mother needs, what his mother don't got, what she's lacking, and just giving him a book report, and also stealing the drugs from his mother, where now she has to come to Cain for the drugs, and Cain has to come to Dante for the drugs, and so therefore puts him back in business with Monet. But he might end up telling Monet that her son is no good. You gotta watch out for your son. And basically he did this to get with her, and he is her protection, and he can give her everything that she doesn't have with, Lorenzo, with Tejada. So in any event, so we're gonna see how this pans out, because Monet could be upset with him for using her son, and then also messing with her business. That could be a problem, but at the same time, she's looking for a partner and not a lover, because she says having a lover makes you weak, but having a partner makes you strong. So having Dante as a partner will make her strong. But what are they going to do with Cain? Okay, so you guys let me know what you think about that situation. So let's get into it. Let's just talk about it. So when we get down to the situation, Method Man, he's visiting his brother Theodore in prison and basically promising him to get out, and he's going to get him out regardless. And then we got Councilman Tate and we have Simon. They meet up to do business, and now we got Councilman Tate that's going to be talking about ethics, and canonical studies. Now this should be very interesting, and he's going to see why he should be over there, and he's going to really love Professor Milgram very much, but he's also there to protect and get the cops up out the place. And Stern just wants him to do that and stop focusing on what he wants. In the meantime, he shall get what he wants from Tariq. And Tariq has information on the councilman, Rick, because Rick tried to fire at Tariq when they went deer hunting. So therefore, Tariq is going to be happy to help Tate and his situation. Now we have Tariq and her sister. The grandmother was driving under the influence. Now his sister got to go to foster care. And now Tariq has another legal situation where Saxe and Davis, his attorneys, are going to be taking more money from him. He's under pressure. He's confused. His grandmother is losing it. Now his sister's in foster care. His mother is in witness protection. Everything is weighing on him again. And then also he's a kingpin out here in these streets, and things are falling apart in his personal life, and once again with his business life. But his school life, he's doing well with his grades, but he basically murked one of his professors. So it's one of them situations. Lord have mercy. And then we get to the situation where you have Cain. He is talking to Dante and basically telling Dante all his business, everything about his mother, about his father. I mean, he's giving him a book report and everything. It's like, Lord have mercy. It's almost like Cain is is transferring the power that he gave Monet to this guy. And he's going to be sadly hurt when Dante disappoint him and say, only reason why I was around you is because I was trying to get with your mama because I love your mama. But one thing could be possible. I wonder if Dante is actually his father. I wonder if Dante is actually Cain's father. That could be a twist. But in any event, if he's his father, then Cain would stay alive. If he's not his father, there's a great chance that something can happen to him. But in any event, we shall see what's going to go down with this situation. And it just seems like, I was like, Cain, just be a little bit more. Your mother didn't teach you to suck up to anybody. So in any event, you have that situation. And then, you know, Dante was willing to work with Cain because Dante needed a crew. He got all the material and all the stuff to supply the community, but he doesn't have anybody working for him. And he could possibly have other people work for him as soldiers, but he particularly want Cain because he wants Monet. But in any event, this is Cain's partner. He follows Cain to Dante's house. Dante is pissed off. Dante already knows his boy, but Dante says, see, Cain, you are not paying attention to your surroundings. And basically he's understanding what Monet was going through with Cain, because he has some good qualities, but he has really serious bad qualities, can get everybody caught up, and you just can't murk everybody. But in any event, so now Dante says the deal is off. I don't want you working for me. So now this leaves Cain to come up with an idea to steal the product from his mother to bring to him, to show him, now my mother needs a favor. And so that's what he's going to do. And then we get Tariq. He's not happy, but his grandmother's not in jail. She's waiting to appear in court. She has the bracelet on. He's not happy to see Saxe because Saxe is his enemy, and Saxe wants to put him in jail. Saxe is also dirty. Saxe had his niece basically up there on campus trying to get information on Tariq. And so, you know, he played dirty. And then remember when Saxe put a camera and a listening device and a monitoring device on a little girl to find out what her father was doing, because he was an attorney. So Saxe plays very dirty. And Method Man and Saxe basically agree in taking Tariq's Monet. And any event, and whatever he gets in trouble to, they're going to pretend like they're doing a lot, but they really are not going to be doing a lot. Baby. So, in any event, we have Professor Milgram. She meets up with Tate, and basically she's not too thrilled with him being a replacement in anything, but at the same time she's been investigated by her ex-boyfriend Kevin, that is a detective, and it seems like he wants to stick it to her like Milgram or Carrie. She hurt him so bad he has a vendetta against her, or he just wants to get down to the truth, but he's actually investigating her and also her personal life as well, getting to know even more things about her that he didn't know. So he has a real hoard on for her as well. But Councilman Tate's job is to get him out of college. Professor Milgram, she's giving him open reign to interview students and have an office up there, and that's not what Saxe wants at all. Not Saxe, but that's not what Simon wants at all. Simon Stern don't want that. So in any event, now she's being chased down, and she just lost Jabari, and then she had to go view Jabari's body. And then on top of that, when it comes to Kevin, you know, she thought he was asking her out on a date and he wanted to rekindle things, only to find out he is accusing her of possibly committing murder. Lord. So in any event, we get down to the situation where Tariq, he finds out that his best friend that he put in charge of the supply left the car full of the supply in upstate or uptown, you know, in New York, in the garage. And he said it's like Fort Knox, but that's where Cain goes and gets the material out. Oh, Tariq that was focused would have been like, that's not a good idea. Tariq would have never let that happen and stay there. Or Tariq would immediately, let's go over there and get to the stash and check it to make sure it was good. Be like, he'll be even more on the situation, but he's too busy worried about his sister, his grandmother, and his mother. But it seemed like Tariq is going to have a coming to Jesus moment and throw his phone away. And I guess he's going to be done with his mother for a little bit. Like, what's going on? So in any event, we get down to this situation when it comes to Diane. Diane, you know, her mind's opening up so much. She's saying Effie go to school, but she hasn't seen Effie go to school yet. But she's talking about Tariq. I think she already knows Effie's in school, but she's talking about Tariq. And, you know, she sees Tariq and the things that he's doing. He's running an empire. He's this big. He got this big app going on Stanford. He's making that money, and he's committing murder at the same time. But yeah, he's in canonical studies. So she wants to do the same thing, especially if now their new plan is to, you know, control Zeke, and she wants to be the accountant. And her mother is like, no, girlfriend, this is not going to happen. This situation is not going to happen. You can't go to school to get a degree in accounting, finance, or anything like that. You know, and basically Monet is feeling like her daughter Diane want to be closer to Tariq, and yes, she does. But at the same time, she wants to live a normal, regular life. She doesn't want to be under Monet's thumb all the time and not being trusted by Monet. Monet won't let her wear sexy clothes and things of that nature, and basically always pointing the finger like, girl, you ain't got it yet. You ain't me yet. So in any event, so this is when Monet says to her daughter, having a lover makes you weak, but having a partner makes you stronger. So that's why I think that Monet is definitely going to get it on and popping when it comes to Dante, and that's what she needs. And she tells her daughter, Tariq cannot be your partner because he's his own man. Basically let her know that Tariq don't love nobody. Tariq may be showing you love and this and that, but at the end of the day, it's always about Tariq. He took his father out. It's always about Tariq. But in any event, she sees another side to Tariq. She doesn't see how evil Tariq can be, but Tariq is a survivor. So that's the situation. But when it came to Ghost, he had a partner, and that was Tasha. And maybe Tariq may have a partner, but I don't know if it's going to be Diane, Lauren, or Effie. So you guys let me know what you think about that. But in any event, it seems like Drew has told, you know, Mr. Zeke too much. Monet never really let Zeke know what their plan was or what they were doing, but Drew felt the need to tell, you know, his cousin, because he don't want to leave, because he still just found himself and he still want to be on campus sleeping around, you know. So in any event, when it comes to Zeke finds out that Monet's plan is to get out the drug business and be his coach, not his coach, but be his management, be his team, follow him around, do everything for him, because he's going to sign this $1 million contract. And now he's going to, you know, he's basically supposed to be going to the NBA. And Monet gets out the game, and he don't really want to leave because he still loves Professor, you know, Carrie, and plus he's not ready yet for the NBA because he took too long of a break. So in any event, we're going to see what's going to happen with that situation. And then we got Councilman Tate and Tariq. They meet up. Councilman Tate, first of all, Tariq asks for help with the criminal justice system, family courts, and, you know, Tate was like, no, not today, my brother. I'm not feeling, you know, generous. But in any event, the discussion in the classroom was selfless. And Tariq said, are you feeling selfless today, Mr. Councilman Tate? And then when Councilman Tate said, do you know the Westons? And he said, yes. He goes, oh, well, today is your day. And so then in any event, the cop came to get Tariq. And so now Councilman Tate knows that Tariq is in some trouble. He's being questioned by the police. And he knows Tariq. And he knows Tariq's background. And he knows Ghost. So, and he knows Tasha. He knows everything. So he's like, Tariq, go handle your business. And so now he knows and he sees exactly why Simon Stern placed him over there at Stanford to help this situation out. And now he knows that Stern knew that Tariq knew the Westons. So it is what it is. So in event, everything's coming down to play. But Tariq is playing a little dirty as usual. And he's telling Detective Kevin that basically, I don't know anything about Professor Jabari, you know, passing on, but he did recently have an argument with Professor Carrie, and so, you know, they was arguing, they were intimate, they were dating, and things of that nature, and they had an argument, so I don't know. And so Tariq is basically giving it to him that way, and he believes it because Kevin wants to think it's Carrie. But if he really knows Carrie, then he would know that she didn't do it, because Saxe knows that she didn't do it, and Davis knows that she didn't commit the murder. They all know Tariq has something to do with it, but he doesn't, because he has a vendetta for somebody else. But in any event, this gives Tariq a little bit of time, because it's gonna come back on him. And Monet is going to be very upset because he liked Monet and said he had nothing to do with it. And then also Kane is involved with Jabari, departing from this earth. So in any event, they got to keep the blame on somebody else. And they framed the cop, but they ain't making that public. In any event, Tariq talks to Kane, let him know they're going to put it on the Professor Carrie. Don't worry about it. And then in the meantime, in between time, this is when Tariq is going to find out something's going on with his product. He's not suspecting Kane and doing anything. And Kane is Kane is playing this really well, that Tariq don't know nothing. So it seems like Kane has one up on Tariq, and Tariq used to always have one up on Kane, but not this time. But in any event, so Tariq gets to the location where Effie and Brandon are at, and they find out that the drugs have been stepped on. Effie got into an altercation, and then Monet's daughter, Diane, she's there, and the two women are about to go head to head because, Effie said, you guys gave us, stepped on stuff, and Diane said, no, we didn't. So Tariq is breaking them apart because these two women do have feelings for him. So in any event, Tariq is not worried about who stepped on the drugs or whatever the case may be, is how to find a new connect and then tell Monet what's going on. Then Monet tries it. She said, oh Lord, it's sugar. I guess the only thing we can do is bake cake, and everybody's surprised. But she's trying to get out the business. She only got one plan, and that's to get out the business, and that's going to be Zeke. And at the same time, she's just like, I want out. And she ain't stressing it because she believes that the person that she believes sold her the stepped on the fake sugar is already 6 feet under. So it is what it is. So in any event, Kane, he comes through, and then his brother Drew, as he do, run his mouth, so do Kane, and basically, let Kane know that they need a supplier because they got stepped on stuff. And he's here. Kane's forgiving. Kane says he loves his brother. I'm sorry. You felt that I was selfish. So he's working his way back in. He learns a lot from Tariq. So in any event, he's gaining out of the situation. And then when it comes to Councilman Tate sees Tariq, having a conversation with Professor Carrie, and basically, he calls her out to have a conversation with her about the cops still being in his office because he got to get the cops up out of there. And then he sees Tariq, and he knows something ain't right because he's seen Tariq talking to the cops. So he tells Professor Carrie Tariq was just talking to the detectives, just giving her a heads up. And then Tariq heard Councilman Tate say that because Tariq was going to plant this phone inside Carrie's drawer because that's the last number that Jabari called, and also Detective Kevin called that number and Tariq answered but didn't say a word. And if he plant the phone on her, then that would be great, but at the same time it looks too shiesty, him snitching on her, and then the phone there, and he meeting with her, and then Councilman Tate pointing out that Tariq just talked to the detective. So in any event, Tariq decides not to plant the phone at all. So Councilman Tate saved Carrie because she is surrounded by sharks, and Councilman Tate is a shark too. So you got to scratch all each other's back in this situation. So it gets down to the situation where Detective Kevin has been following or paying attention to what Carrie's doing. He thinks she's a murderer and a criminal. And so with this situation, he finds and he sees Zeke leaving her apartment, and he's asking her, what is this young boy doing leaving your apartment? What's going on, and what's your alibi when Jabari was murdered? And she said, I was with Zeke. And he was like, you was with a student at this type of time? Oh, okay, so you were sleeping with a student. So now that's going to be, out there. So I don't know if Detective Mr. Kevin is going to look at Zeke as a suspect because Milgram's was sleeping with Jabari at one time, and now she's sleeping with a student. Did Jabari know? And so is he going to consider them both a suspect, or is he going to consider Zeke a suspect, and that's going to bring just too much more drama, where Zeke might not be able to go to the NBA because now he has all these questions. He might get kicked out of school, so therefore it seems like Monet is going to stay in the street, baby. So in any event, with this situation, we have, Monet. She is doing her yearly thing, I guess, or her anniversary with her husband, Lorenzo. And she says she's tired of this. She's tired of this room. She's tired of wearing the same old lingerie. She's just tired of the monotony of everything. And she's just tired, period. And also, she's tired of not having no protection. She's tired of not being protected. She's tired of not being safe. She's tired of just not having a partner. She's tired of not having any protection, anybody to help her. She's telling her husband, and she said, now Kanan comes with a whole, we lose our connect. Now here comes Kanan, Kane with drugs, for us, and he has a new connect. Her husband say, take it. She don't want to take it because she don't trust him. So in any event, her hands are tied, and she has nothing else to do but deal with the situation. And then we get to Diane. Diane is thinking on her own, and this is a selfless thing going on between Diane and Effie, where Effie's saying to Diane basically is saying, hey, listen, I want you to teach me how to run the streets and do school at the same time. How do you balance that? And so first thing Effie says, like, first of all, what about who stepped on the stuff that you gave us and who had the most to benefit from it? So that's the first lesson that Effie is teaching Diane. And we don't know what might happen with this situation, but we shall see. But it seems like Monet's daughter saying that she's going to sneak around and do it on the QT, on the low. So she is going against her mother once again because she's ready to step out. And then we have Kane. He's so happy. He is telling Dante, I created an opportunity for my mother. Now she's going to have to come and I'm going to be the connect. So they didn't even know that they needed a connect, that they needed me. So he's thinking he's doing something good on both sides. But at the same time, he doesn't know that this guy wants his mother, knew his mother, and can actually turn everything that he is doing right now against him when it comes to Monet. But in any event, the best thing is for them to both keep quiet. But Kane can't keep quiet so long, about especially when he feels like someone played him and took advantage of him and he didn't know what was going on. That was his biggest beef with Tariq. So we're going to see how this situation pans out. This guy is with his mother, then he's still, not in charge. He's still not ahead. Somebody's still telling him what to do, but that will be happening. But if he's with his mother, then it's like he has to follow, like he's the head of the family, and Kane wants to be head of the family, it seems. So we shall see what's going on in this situation. Then Tariq, he throws the phone away, the connection to his mother. So is he leaving all the feelings behind with his mother and letting it go and moving forward? Is he discarding his mother? Is he protecting his mother? Is he protecting himself? Or he just has to cut ties? Because this family shit is killing him right now. Then at the end of the day, Tariq is on the roof of the college, Stanford, with Lauren, and she's basically saying this is a secret spot, nobody knows about it, my brother taught me about this spot. So Tariq now knows that this is a new spot that he's going to store his work. He's going to store the work on the college campus. Lord have mercy. Tariq is brave and bold. And then now we have, when it comes to Zeke, he's being questioned, and now he's being called in to have a conversation with the detective, and now he's being investigated. So doesn't look like he's going to the NBA. So that's the situation. I was just like, Lord have mercy. And then we get down to the situation where Davis and Saxe are basically discussing the murder case of Jabari, and they feel that when it comes to that situation, that Professor Carrie Milgram did not kill Jabari. They think that Tariq has something to do with it. But Saxe is sleeping with the ops. He is sleeping with the prosecutors, and he get word that they're talking to Tariq, but they have a prime suspect, and it's Professor Carrie. And Method Man goes way back with Professor Carrie. They had something going on a long time ago. And in any event, Method says money to ching ching. Saxe is okay with it. Method Man saying you're getting in it and I'm getting information. And then at the same time, you know, when it comes to Method Man, or aka Davis, he needs to get his brother out. So somebody's going to get burnt in this situation. His brother needs to get out of jail. And he needs to get enough information where he can plead, bargain, and pardon for his brother. Lord, and in any event, it comes down to Monet meeting up with Dante. He's been sending her signals by playing old school music, new edition, knocking over gas, knocking over trash cans. Basically, that's the signal that they have to get in contact with each other. And he is looking to be the love of her life. And she doesn't know that he's in this business and he knows exactly what she's doing. But in any event, she says it's too late for him to come back. He was like, take my number, take my card. Maybe it ain't too late. So in any event, this is the guy that Monet needs. And this is the guy that she wants to be with at the end of the day, that she described to her husband that she wants the protection and everything. This guy can give her all that, and that's what she wants. So you guys let me know what you think about this situation. Peace.